recording.
Yep.
I don't know that we have a ton to talk about today. But it seems like that always changes once we start talking.
I'll do the minutes.
You did been saying thank you. And I don't think you need to be too detailed. I don't know that we have a ton to talk about today. Oh, there we go.
It's an echo.
And so we just and we have Jim. Hi, Jim. All right, so we've Joe Klein, Jim Miller on as guest, Bill Todd, and Michael, and like I said, Greg and Josh. I know we're going to be here, and Scott I hadn't heard from, but I can't remember. He may have told me previously that he couldn't be at this one. I can't remember, but why don't we call the meeting to order? We're a few minutes behind here. Do we have enough to vote?
Yes.
We have enough to be a quorum, so we have the minutes from last time. Did you get a chance to review those? If so, if we can get a motion in a second, or if there's any changes before I do that.
I moved to approve the minutes.
I second that.
All right.
Ways out here.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Since everybody agrees, we won't go to the next step. All right, very good, thank you. All right, so old business. Thank you, Georgia, for putting this on the agenda. Northgate development update. I guess since we met last time, we met with, let's see, it was Jim, me, Bill, you were there, and we had Alex from the developer for one of the hotels. We had
Was Alex with the MGM?
no, the other one.
He was the other hotel, that's right.
Alex Beatty. Then we had Dustin Zufall, who is with Evergreen, who's looking at the apartments. Andrew Burke, who's also with them. And then we had BFNS folks, Chris, Dave, Georgia was there as well, and Stu, the landowner. So I thought it was a good discussion. Just to give you a quick update, it was a good discussion. We I think we're fairly clear, as we talked last time, about what we can or can't do, and we just don't have much don't have much leeway at this point. But I think we explained to Alex, I think it's the lead of that group, at least leading the conversation, and he talked about the partnership that he has with Dustin Zufall's group, and it sounds like they were still working that out. So they weren't like, wouldn't you agree, Bill? It sounded like that was still a work in progress on how that was going. But I think we're clear that we don't even know for sure what the cost is going to be. And so we aren't able to say what we would be able to do for them anyway. But it does seem like that's probably should try to think of doing something, but that's part of the debate. If we do, how much and what would be meaningful and all that. But the way it sits right now, town is waiting on BFS to get the bids out, to get it back, find out who's going to do the work, how much it's going to cost, and then Bill, correct me if I'm wrong, also waiting on UMC to determine how much they're going to cover. And then once those things happen, which sounds like it'd be more towards the end of the year, then things should move along. But in talking to Alex, it sounds like best case scenario, he's not breaking ground till April of 27 anyway. So I don't know that I don't know that we're necessarily slowing him down, or that he just he's trying to figure out if it's still moving forward. And in my sense of it, I know I'm discussing and we're discussing in good faith, and it seems that they are as well. So I think it's just a matter of letting things unfold and still moving along. So for the others that were in the meeting, does that seem like a fair assessment? I think Todd and Joe are the ones that are probably hearing the update, but a fair assessment.
Yes.
So I don't know if there's anything else for us to do other than as Jim and I have talked, just continue to work with the town and figuring out if there's any ways we can support The sewer, which seems to be the domino, my conversation with another group, it seems to be the domino, once we know how much sewer costs, how much is left, that timing. I do think though, and Jim and I talked a little bit between meetings, I think a big issue is there's enough capacity now for a hotel with like 100 beds. There's not enough capacity now for 2 hotels. And once the expansion is done, and Bill, correct me again if I'm wrong, but my understanding is then we'll have enough capacity for both hotels and the apartment. But it's all the expansion as planned has to be done with the sewer for that to happen. And I think rightfully so. What is a reasonable risk for the town to take and all of this? It's easy for me to say, hey, we gotta drive forward, because without someplace to move all the sewage, then it's gonna be hard to develop those properties, but if we develop all that and then those properties don't go in, that's a problem too, so. Anyway, I think that's the update on North Gate. Anyone has anything to add or questions?
Since, if I can speak to that, in the time between your last meeting with, your recent meeting with the Benning group.
Mhm.
Butler Fairman has led the town through the selection process for a contractor. And they will finalize their choice September 8th or later. Probably the 8th, but we won't know the engineer's recommendation. The committee they met with the vendors. They have all the information. They went through the selection process that the engineers are going through it, and we'll make a recommendation to the town council and then they can accept it or reject it at that point. And
On that night being the September meeting?
September 8th, town council meeting. And the attorney has engaged the UMH leadership for a meeting on Thursday morning this week. So we may, in very short time, know a little bit more about how that agreement might happen.
So the 28th.
So things are happening slowly, and it's true, we still don't know the outcome today, but it looks like there's a calendar of events that will lead to some important decisions being made.
Yeah, and my take from talking to Alex is, he wants to do something on that piece of land and and isn't necessarily in a super big hurry. I don't my sense isn't he's in comparing 2 pieces of land and going, well, I'm either gonna do it here, we're doing it over there. I think he's saying, I'm either gonna do it here or I'm not gonna do it here, so I think that's different than some of the other deals that have come through, like, I guess like one of these recent medical things that was announced. I don't know for sure, but I think that was one that was considering a piece of land that the 58 acres. So I think the land, that's a either or kind of conversation versus it's either gonna build or not, so. Well, good, that's good to know, so maybe by the time we meet next time. We might have some bigger chunks of information to kind of decide if we go back to Stu and Alex and. Now, you call him the Benning group, but Stu, I don't think said a word. I'm not sure where he was, because he wasn't in state, but he didn't really speak during that meeting too much, so.
The other thing that the town would need, if they do go to a bond, at some point, they're gonna need a motion in the minutes of the RDC dedicating or agreement to use the TIF for the bond. Either all or part of it, because it comes into the language of the bond ordinance. And right now the ordinance is written solely on rate revenue. And I don't think that was ever the intention, that it would be rate revenue, and I kind of hate to see that go through. I asked the bond counsel if that was okay, knowing that it wouldn't be all rate revenue, and he said, no, not really. Let's rewrite that.
Okay, well, that's good to know, and so I think there's two or three things we need. One, obviously, town, hopefully on the 7th, 8th, will have a number, right? Hopefully by then they know how much they need to bond.
Well, they'll have a developer chosen. And then the developer works with Butler Fairman to complete the design. And they use the word value engineer. They have this estimate
Mhm.
of 11 something million. But then we'll know at the end of the year when they finish the final drafting.
And then that would be when they need a motion from us saying how much or
Well,
sooner.
The bond part can go forward. The bond's actually for more than that. It's for 15 million. But I think we'll need the bond ordinance to go forward so that we can be ready for the next SRF pool. The the lowest rate bond that we can get is through the state's revolving fund.
So if you do a $15 million bond, do you have to take off $15 million?
No.
Well,
We set
because
it high in case there was unforeseen.
so we did at a previous meeting say that we would utilize our funds for it. I don't remember if we did. I think we did a motion. I think we did an official vote.
I thought we did, and
Well,
I think we said it would be all or part, we didn't say. when.
Yeah.
I didn't take the time to look and make sure that it was in there, that I will right now.
Well,
Would have been April or May, probably. March, April, or May, one of those.
May 27th, it said. TIF money generated annually could be 123,000.
And then I went to the town council meeting and shared that, so whatever we need to do to make it even more official, we had a vote, I know we had a vote, and I think it was in the minutes. I don't remember what month, we can look back through it, but. The other second thing though we need to know is, Bill, you said the amount we're getting is different than what we originally thought. So obviously we can't get rid of money we're not getting.
I don't think we can say a dollar amount yet. Just that if you're gonna have a motion, it's a commitment to use TIF to help pay for the bond. The amount will change all kinds of times, whenever assessed value changes, and so, and then about April of next year, we'll know exactly what we're getting.
So I'm pretty sure we made that, well, I know we made that motion, I don't know if we got.
Okay, in April 28th, it said new business, there was a vote that all TIF funds should go towards the regional sewer project, but we didn't. There's no other, is that enough?
Yeah.
That's.
Because the dollar amount's not necessarily known at this point. I think
Number of people would agree, yeah,
Okay, well, I would say,
it just said there was a vote,
Well,
that's it.
we may have to amend the amendments to make it a bit more official.
yeah, I think that because we hadn't
Or
done,
just voice it again with the people that are here.
how about we do this, because then because you're doing that, so you'll write them in a way that it'll.
Yeah.
So why don't we have a motion? And what I would say is a motion is just to reaffirm what we said in April, that all or a portion to be determined in the future of the TIF proceeds will be used in support of the town's sewer project.
Good.
So I put forth a motion.
You probably just say so moved, because I think Bill just wrote it down.
It's all right, I'll make it work.
So moved.
And
No,
then we need a second.
Second,
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And just to confirm, and I would note, you can note this in the minutes, we're just reaffirming a vote we
Right.
did in April when
In
everybody
April.
was here. Since I generally read my own organization's minutes in the, what are the official votes and you really should have who was the first, who was the second, and then all approved, but.
I got it.
And then I think for Jim's sake, assume Jim's able to hear, we, as you said, we don't know exactly how much it is. And that's the great debate for the Benning project is we don't know how much we have, so we don't know how much. We don't know if we give you 30, if we give them 30% of that or 20% of that, if what it'll do for what we can do with the town, so. A lot of moving parts, but I think it's heading in the right direction. It's kind of interesting how these things go, but. QT someday is gonna break ground.
Yeah.
And I think it'll probably be them, and then it'll seem like right away, it'll probably be the ones behind them, so. George, do you think that gives us what we need? Because I have great confidence that our master of Robert's Rules of Order will have those minutes.
Absolutely.
Pick and span.
The follow-up to that is that would inform your year-end, you have to have a spending plan submitted to the Department of Local Government Finance before the end of the year. And
On
without
this year's revenue.
No.
On this year's revenue.
this year's revenue. Okay.
Yeah, and actually I saw that on the agenda, which we can jump to it. My thinking is at this point. It makes the most sense that we say in that spending plan, whatever the number is, that it'll be earmarked for this project, right?
Yep.
Now, is the town also putting its economic development dollars into this project? Is that?
Yes.
So it'll be our money's kind of matching that. Okay, and then you never invoiced us. Are you planning on invoicing us?
I was thinking the same.
I don't know if I've really done enough to. I mean, I did some stuff.
Nice drawing.
I'll take a look and see. I know Arcor we hadn't got to the point where Arcor was doing anything, so I'll look.
Well, how about this, Mr. Starr? I would request of you an invoice by the end of the year so that we can put it into the spending plan. If there's one to come.
If there's one, I mean, I
And if
know
there's
some of
not,
that
I
I
appreciate
did
that.
prior to that because we were gonna, but I've slept since then, so okay, I will. look.
Just see if there's, because we had agreed that we would
At the
compensate.
level of your adjunct salary.
Yeah. We had agreed, because that was in the minutes as well, we had agreed that we would compensate you for that work. And we have referred to that thing 100 times or more in these meetings, so it isn't that.
Well, I can't say it hasn't spawned, I mean, without that, it really sparked the covenants, like, then you could see what we're planning could it actually be done.
Right.
When you start looking at the covenants, so.
Right, so I would say other than, and I think in the minutes, just other than covering old invoices. Any outstanding invoices to be determined, then we wanna put the rest to.
Right.
To town sewer project. Although the town sewer project won't really need payments probably for, when does the bond payments begin, or when are they thinking the bond will be taken out?
The construction timelines that we saw would be October-ish of 26.
So next, okay. So I mean, so really potentially by then we might have this year's and next year's revenue.
Yeah.
And it might be that we can, that'll help front load some of those payments until this other stuff gets in play, okay. Alright, Jim, anything else you need from us from a council standpoint related to that?
Sounds good. I think you're doing a fine job. Nice summation on the beginning, I thought.
Alright, very good, thank you.
Did you do get the email and stuff about his auditor? Did you do any of that
His auditor,
from Alex?
I don't think, maybe.
He recorded everything and he uses a program called Otter. And he sent me an email to subscribe to it. So I have all of that as a recording through him with comments and stuff too.
Oh, okay, you know, I might have gotten the email, and that's one thing I'm still, I'm still landing on how I feel about people using those systems to, but.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, I guess anytime, anytime two of us are together, it's kind of an official meeting anyway, so
No, it's more than two.
is it more than two?
Yep.
The three, guess it's
Yeah.
three,
Yeah.
three of us is an official meeting. Yeah, that's fine, I probably got it, I don't know, I get so much email. All right, so we've got spending plan out, Georgia, is that something that you need me to work with you on, or Bill work with you on, or
Can give Bill authority to follow that, like,
usually, I can't?
Yep. Yep, we'll take care of it.
I mean, I'm happy, I'm not bad, I'm happy to do it, I have no idea what system it is, I mean, that's all, I just have to,
No, it's
you have to walk me through the.
I'll do it. It's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. It's pretty straightforward for us at this point. Now it gets, it'll get more complicated, I would imagine. Eventually. On year 12 or 13. Just great.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, anyway, I mean, as I said, the meeting and to Bill there, it's kind of getting interesting, right? And I've said this meeting a few times. Now it's getting interesting. I mean, we have a little bit of money that we can help. I think the town's taking steps that I think are helpful to the development of the property. And as we've talked about last time, or I don't know, the meetings run together. I think 26 has gotten crowded enough that people are looking up the road and down the road, and I never understood why our exit didn't have more though, because we're the first exit after a long stretch of
Yeah.
Well, we were a mess for a long time.
mm,
People get used to that and they just go, oh, there's nothing there.
and they just go past it.
Well, just until you see like, like one of those hotels popping up on the ground would be, you couldn't miss it. And then you'd be like, oh, well, look what's here.
Well, and I get that to some extent, like we just got back from going to North Carolina, we didn't have a hotel pre-booked. And we end up doing it online while we're driving, Susan does it while I'm driving, but. You come up to an exit, if there's one gas station, we don't ever get off. Unless we're like actually out of gas.
Yeah.
Cause almost always, if it's just one gas station, like, yeah, it's hit or miss if it's gonna be decent. But if there's two or three, there's gonna
You can
be
pick your ticket.
kind of the same thing with hotels. If there's two or three, you're like, well, they're competing with each other, so they're trying to stay up. Anyway. Has anyone heard any updates on QT? Greg's usually the one that has those, and since we shared, but for those that are online, Greg was out of town today. Although I think our understanding though is that they are now I guess obviously now they're into April of 26 or 7.
For
Alright.
now, spring of 2026.
All right, I don't want to get my hopes up.
Did you stop at one while you were driving and make sure you know what they still have?
No, but I thought I stopped at some other stuff and said, well, this was a QT they'd have.
Maybe a Bucky's figure there or something.
All right, then the other is the Tecumseh property, and as we talked about last time, they have a loss in their family. I did share my condolences with my neighbor. I haven't seen her dad or others since, but I guess at some point when they're ready, in no hurry from our standpoint, if they want to pull the neighbors together and have a conversation, we certainly can do that. I don't know that at this point, I think if I'm honest with them, our focus has moved across the road, probably for a bit. Because I don't know what I can do. It's an agreement between the neighbors and them, and the limitation is we can facilitate a conversation, but we don't have the authority to, short of things we don't necessarily, things we don't want to do. So that's where I think that stands. But the sewer though, this sewer will give them access to sewer as well, right? And will the sewer project it won't take care of the water issues that, Shawnee Ridge, what's on that side? Quail's Pit, yeah, that, it won't take away the water issues. The flooding, the backyard flooding. That, the site has to be developed to do that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not to have a holding fund.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Well, it may be, every time I think about that lot, I'm like, put houses at the top part and develop the
The
bottom.
people
and-
that were having backyard issues are on the inside, though, they're not on the cornfield side. They're on the other side,
Well,
and a lot of that is because people have changed the drain. They fenced their yards, they changed the way the yards are, they don't fall to the lower part anymore.
yeah, but didn't you or Ron or somebody had told me that somebody had dug a ditch or had done something in their backyard to try to alleviate that problem? Because you guys live over there, right? So where are the sheep? Not over there. Are they?
The sheep on 800 north,
Oh, I got you.
Oh,
some of them are lounging on a solar farm right now.
no. They're done with the solar farm. They're getting rid.
I got you. All right, so that's Northgate, that's QT, and on the other side is 600. I don't think there's any activity. It seems like the row of
Duplexes.
duplexes, trying to think what to call them.
Right, disaster, yes.
Yeah, I think it's probably where it is until something happens.
Until their septic system fails completely.
It would be nice to reach out to the people that own the corner lots at 43 and 600, because they might conceivably develop out if they know. At the point where we know that there's gonna be a line coming to them, they might gear up to hook on.
Well, they don't have access to sewer after this project, right? Those corner lots?
They would.
They will, cause it'll come down, it'll come by Titmont and then it'll come all the way on the north side.
But I don't think we've told them anything specific yet to gauge their interest. If we said, hey, September 26th, there'll be something here, are you interested in developing and, paying your fees to get started on that? No, nothing like that has been said.
Well, that's what I was thinking too, is if they want, maybe if that's what's holding them up developing. Maybe they'd be willing to help pay. Although I guess there is I was gonna say a tap fee, but that's whatever the
Well,
term.
there is.
There are temp, yeah.
Developer,
Developer fees, or, if you have stormwater available, or if you have water, there's usually always some sort of fees to tap into that.
it's been calculated, it's by the acre somehow, I don't know what the exact number is, but.
And would that tap fee go to the bond or other things? I mean, I guess it's some you have to. I assume they would be responsible for the piping and burying the pipes and all that.
But their assessed value would definitely go to.
Okay.
Well, I know the northwest corner would, I haven't talked to him about it in a while, he's galloped, he's just always doing stuff all over the state. He's talked about a car wash and, every time I talk to him, something different, but if there's no hookups there, it's hard to do anything, cause then you have septic, a well, and then you have to store water somewhere, and those three things just make it counterproductive for cost and anything else. But if you had water and you had sewer, you still have to do water detention, which could be underground detention, or if you have enough area to put a small drainage pond / ditch, makes it more manageable.
So do they have water over there?
No, the only water that's close would be McDonald's, but their easement doesn't go all the way to the property line. Well, before, they would have to reach out to corporate McDonald's, but now that one is now owned by someone local. So it could make it more, accessible.
More accessible, yeah.
So how is it easier to run water? I assume it's easier to run water to a property than it is to remove sewer.
Well, both aren't bad. It's, if one's a force main or if one's gravity fed, it depends on all the falls. Sometimes you're going uphill, but you're going downhill to slope the pipe. More than likely, if it's a lift station, then, you know, it's it's like a forced main, so everybody has a little grinder pit and jettisons it into the system.
For the sewer.
For the sewer, water's pretty easy, cause unless you need pressure. I don't know, would there be another water tower somewhere? If they brought, where would water come from? It would just come up from behind the police post and to the west, right? Or to the north.
Is the
Yeah.
town both sides of 600?
Yes,
Not the whole
oh,
way.
no, wait a minute, the TIF is, the town
The
is.
town
The
is.
town's only on the council property
Right.
side. Does that limit the town's tax base?
No, oh, wait a minute, what do you mean?
Well, the town's tax base, because the property you're talking about is not in the town either.
It's a north.
But it doesn't make any difference because
TIF.
100% of the TIF would,
Oh, I know that, but I was talking about, I was thinking about town.
but they don't contribute to the town. The TIF never contributes to the town, so that being in or out of it won't make any difference.
Well, until TIF expires and
Oh, 25 years.
years or
Yeah.
whatever, 20 years. Okay, I got you.
But-
Right now, it wouldn't matter. The town annexed them, it wouldn't
Right.
matter because.
Yep.
Because the
And
TIF's getting
there's a
that portion.
major cost of annex and stuff.
Okay,
The biggest difference is since that's not in the town, you're under the guidance of the Tippecanoe County Storm Ordinance, which most of the towns apply. But you'd have to go through a Tippecanoe County Drainage Board for stormwater approval. But then you could have hookups to, you know, the town utilities.
Okay,
So there's a whole,
alright. Yeah, cause the other corner. Was the Arby's. Right, and I assume it has since dissipated, I haven't heard anything about it for a long time.
still trying to envision what the size of that would have to be, because
Doesn't seem like it's big enough.
it's not very wide, and the setbacks. I mean, off a road like that, they're usually 60 feet. From the right of way, so I mean,
And which property has the pet cemetery?
the northeast
Yeah.
one with the
The
former
Arby's,
The Arby's corner, the corner where they're talking about, where they used to have the house they tore down.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think, as far as I know, that's everything. We are in a holding pattern, North Gate. QT is coming. Tecumseh, we're waiting on the family, and then, like I say, and I see them periodically because they have a daughter next door, but I think that's it. Any other topics to discuss? We talked about the spending plan, which we'll have a few months to finish. All right, Joe or Jim, anything you want to talk about?
Nope, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good also. Thank you.
All right, very good.
So that's official, the motion to adjourn.
yep.
All right, very good. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Bill and Jim, we'll see you all soon. See you around town. Although I don't go to Harrison anymore.